Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. Hey, everyone. I haven't done Krista Burgh in what feels like forever. Now, this particular album I bought used, $6. Actually, Tracy bought it used. I introduced Tracy to Krista Burgh, and then she went out and she bought every used Krista Burgh album she could find. Because my Tracy is awesome that way. Now, the cool thing with Krista Burgh is Krista Burgh, I've mentioned this if you're one of my previous viewers, you've already heard this. If you're a first time viewer, growing up as a kid, Alice Cooper, David Bowie, and Krista Burgh were the three artists Pandora wanted to say hi, hello, say hello, don't put your claws in my shoulder. No, not claws in the shoulder, say hello. Oh, she's so cute, right? Okay. So, the kitty lick time. I've been outside in the garden. Okay, enough distraction. Welcome distraction. Who doesn't like a little kitty distraction? Okay. Well, actually, it's a big kitty. Well, medium-sized kitty. Anyways, where I was going. Krista Burgh, something that my mom and dad both agreed on when we were kids. My sister and I both grew up listening to Krista Burgh, and we owned Krista Burgh on our own. We put it on our own accord, not because our parents put it on. Spanish Train and Other Stories is still, to this day, one of my all-time favorite albums. My sister actually absconded with my mom's copy of Man on the Line when we were kids. Stuff like that. Okay. Then my grandmother, my mom's mom, also Krista Burgh fan as well. My mom's brother is a Krista Burgh fan. Guess where my dad discovered Krista Burgh from my mom's side. At least that's what my understanding is. So on my mom's side, Krista Burgh fans. My dad got into Krista Burgh really heavy. Got my stepmom into Krista Burgh real heavy, which means my stepbrother and stepsister ended up into Krista Burgh pretty good. I had my kids. My kids never really kind of got into Krista Burgh, a little bit, but not really. Tracy, on the other hand, really got into Krista Burgh when I introduced her to it. Most people I know, I've only met one person that knew Krista Burgh outside of being connected to me or my family. I've met other people over the years as well. But okay, so I've rambled on for like way too long on this intro. Let's get into the album, okay? Now, I did not buy this album, Into the Light, okay? I did not buy this album purposely because Lady in Red's in it, on it, all right? That is the song that everybody knew from Krista Burgh. Growing up as a kid, if I mentioned that I liked Krista Burgh, everybody's like, oh, that's Lady in Red guy, right? Yeah, that's Lady in Red guy. That's all anybody knew him for, because over here in North America, that's what he is a one-hit wonder for Lady in Red. Which is really kind of a shame because the dude writes some good stuff. And it's also a shame that I didn't pick up this album sooner. My sister would like this version of this album probably a lot more than I do. My sister is more into the synthy 80s stuff like Tears for Fears, Krista Burgh's 80s stuff. There's a lot of that, and I was gonna say that it's Krista Burgh that actually inspired my sister so much to get into that stuff because a lot of his 80s stuff is a lot of synthy kind of, but without being pop, still smart, well written stuff, which is why my sister still can appreciate a good tune here and there. Okay. Whereas I'm more of a storyteller, kind of folksy Krista Burgh fan. All right, moving on. Albums of Last Night. Great way to open this album out. However, the words last night don't come up in it very much, and this is one of those songs that if people got to know and it was really popular, they would definitely screw up probably the title and not realize it's Last Night. After that, you got Fire on the Water. This one was kind of interesting. I enjoyed this one. It was a little bit different. The Ballroom Romance is kind of Krista Burgh's regular kind of mellow, boring, chicky stuff. Lady in Red, I've already covered. That is his most popular song. It is the worst representation of his music, though, because it is like literally one of the most commercial songs he ever wrote. Lyrically, like it is generally the most pop-like song I think he has ever written that I've noticed. Say Goodbye to It All. I really enjoy this one. It's got a really great uplifting riff to it. Really kind of gets you going. Just a generally enjoyable song. The Spirit of Man. That wasn't a bad tune while I was listening to the album. Not one that overly stands out. Fatal Hesitation, same thing, you know. One World, Straight to the Heart. One Word, Straight to the Heart. Um, really enjoy this one. But not anything special. Sorry, I had to start and restart. I've got a neighbor that insists on cutting his grass like twice a week. It's really annoying and it's an absolute waste. You don't need to cut it every time it rains, man. Fuck. Okay. Where was I? One Word, Straight to the Heart wasn't bad while the song was playing. Really kind of got into it, enjoyed it. For Rosanna, if you're one of my regular viewers, you know that I'm not generally a fan of songs that have women's names in them. I find them, they're all kind of predictable, sort of. The leader, the leader's really, it's really interesting. The leader is like the shortest song on the album, clocking in at 2:16. But it is so perfectly structured that it feels like a really full song, like every other song on this album, which is clocking in most of them. The average song on here is like 4.5 minutes, if not a little bit over 4.5 minutes. And the leader clocking in so short and still being so full and so vibrant is quite nice and interesting. Um, some people might think it's a little bit religious, but you know what? Some people are some people. The vision wasn't bad. It's not bad while the album's playing. I really enjoy it. Realistically, is it a song that would make me recommend people to Christopher Burgh? No, but you know, it is what it is. And then you got What About Me, which finishes off this album, and oh my god. Okay, so when I think of Christa Burgh after all these years, all the listening I've been doing to Christa Burgh, I do not think guitar solos. I do not think whoa power guitar solos. There are some songs, and you know, where he really gets some stuff going, like "Don't Pay the Ferryman" live in Dublin. Whoo, that one gets some pretty blistering going on it. But not in the solo, just the music itself gets really up and blistering. What About Me, man? The solo at the end of the song. Now, I mean, we're not talking some Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, Eddie Van Halen, Kirk Hammett kind of solo. Not at all. Realistically, I should look to see who does the solo because this is definitely something like badass. This is kind of like Roger. No, hold on, not Roger Waters. Right band, wrong guy. Dave Gilmour or Eric Clapton, you know, kind of that really strong, slow blues kind of thing going on. Phil Palmer, Danny McBride, C to B. Those are the guitarists listed on this album. I do not see anything listed for individual songs. There's not much on the inside. It's some cool little kind of new age squally kind of stuff, but you know, yeah. So I'm not sure which one of those gentlemen dropped that guitar solo down, but I'm glad they got to let it open up and go, man, because it was quite nice and it was quite impressive to hear. It was a nice end too. The only complaint I would have is they did a fade out at the very end, and I'm not a fan of that. All right. So overall, this album is, if you are an 80s synth, 80s electric, not dance, just music in general, okay? Um, Prog to a degree, stuff like that, you would probably dig on this stuff. It's not going to be something necessarily for a Rush fan, but if you're like an 80s Genesis, you might actually dig into this. That being said, the drums suck. Oh my god, it's electric drums. Or the drums were produced to sound like electric drums. I don't know which. If they were real drums and they were produced to sound like electric drums, whoever produced this should be shot. Paul Hardiman should be shot if those were real drums produced to sound like electric drums. I think it was actually electric drums, or even a lot of it sounds like it's just drum machine, to be completely honest. I should have checked that while I'm at it. I'm gonna pull this book back out again. Where are we looking at here? Drums are Peter Van Hook, Tony Beard, and Jeff Phillips. I really want to say that each drummer did use their own style of drumming, because there's definitely different styles of drumming in here. Now that I read that there's three different drummers, it makes total sense that the drums sound different the way they do on certain tracks. But overall, the drums sound basically like they're electric drums. Um, I own an electric drum set. I know what I'm talking about. They sound like they're electric drums. Not a fan. I really don't like electric drum sets. I own a set because it's something to play on quietly. I really rarely use them because I hate playing by myself, and electric drums just really kind of suck. Um, Anyways, folks, that's my views. That's my opinion. Thanks for joining me for another Krista Burgh album review. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell for notifications. On the way down, to leave me a comment, tell me what you think, what's your favorite song, etc., etc. You will see in the descriptions that there are 3 links. One is to the TWA Trampoline Wrestling Association. One is to the Howling Odyssey, which is my musical ventures online. And one is to Patreon, and that is where you can go and download whatever I have available for downloading at this time. All right. Otherwise, once again, like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. Peace, love, take care.